Newton, Iowa is where we set the stage for tonight's battle. Round 4 of the Thursday Night Thunder series about to take off with Aiden Norman and Toby Estes on the front row. Two-time Thursday Night Thunder champion Tom Sears not on the front row, dropping out after qualifying in second. We'll see if he can get back in this one, but for now, it's time to do or die. Norman and Estes on the front row, waiting for the signal, and it's in the air. Green flag from Iowa. Early lead to Aiden Norman in the first few turns. Norman, Garrison, and Estes dropping back to the bronze medal position. Donald Ray, Riley Wright to his outside, Dustin Painter behind him in the 00. Last week, Seth Wansing gave a great fight to the defending champion. The pride of Kansas City coming up just short. Garrison, purple. 23.80 on the board. Garrison goes fastest of all. 3 laps underway. Repping for his home state of Ohio, and another 12 drivers going green. That last time around, their personal bests. In that 2-4 Exalta machine, Richie Catania in 8th with Andrews and Withers, both the Thomases, decorating 9th and 10th. And how about Jeff No, the Richmond winner last season in that TJ's team double nickel? He sits in 11th with Honeybrink behind him. And how about Des Moines, Iowa's Ryan Pennell in that 1-2 NASCAR Thunder 2003 Monte Carlo? A graduate of Iowa State and racing on home soil with Cody Riggs behind him at the front. Aiden Norman by 0.6 of a second. How about Josh Garrison? And take a look. He made his way back into the lobby after having an internet problem, albeit 3 laps down. But the 2-time Thursday Night Thunder champion is in the competition. Seth Wansing around Dustin Painter. He gets into 5th place. From Nassau in the Bahamas, number 40, Elrich George, the Kodak Pontiac. That car looks a little bit like tonight's giveaway. And if you haven't seen yet on Rick James TV Twitter and Thursday Night Thunder Twitter, we're giving away a Kodak diecast. How about that for a moment? The Ernie Irvin number 4 Chevrolet from 1993 is what we're giving away tonight. Check it out on TNT and Thursday Night Thunder Twitter. Doug Norris says, I'm a bit late. What'd I miss? Tom Sears, Dougie, 2-time champion. Tom Sears already 3 laps down, missing the green flag, but he's back in the competition. And if he gets back into the top 5, it'll be an amazing comeback. Donald Ray in the 5. He's 9th. Withers is 10th. Jeff No behind him in the 11th spot. Seth Wansing catching up to Toby Estes. Let's go on board with the Kansas City pilot. Two Bluegrass Bandits nose to tail. Briley right on the outside in the 2.9 snap-on machine. You've got Toby Estes just to his inside in the 7.8. Budweiser Chevy catching up to Josh Garrison. Aiden Norman 2 seconds ahead of the pack, watching all of them fight back-to-back. Tristan Catania in the 4.8, just on the tail end of that lead lap. Aiden Norman to the inside of the 48 Ally machine. We'll see just how tough the New Jersey pilot makes it for the defending North Carolinian champion. Thomas Andrews in the 2. Donald Ray to his inside. Ray putting up the fastest time in practice. The native from Rockwall and the pride of the great state of Arkansas, now looking to get to the inside of the Season 4 champion. Ray fell down 6 spots from where he started, but maybe he's just trying to feel the car out. He's getting back into the groove. Up at the front, Josh Garrison on the outside, Briley right to the inside. Seth Wansing, Dustin Painter, and Toby Estes wants to play. Richie Catania watching in the distance as they almost go 3 wide to turn 3. Seth Wansing in the 9, but behind the 44, tails starting to just kick out a little bit. The sun setting in Newton. Garrison in second. Wansing in third, up 5 places from where he started, and the native from Kansas City, so far, the race's hardest charger. Painter to the inside. 3 wide into turn number 1. Dustin Painter giving it everything he's got. Still 3 wide out of 2, and the fight rages on. 17 laps into this race, and sanity prevails. Everybody to the high side, Painter to the low side, but for 1 lap, it got hairy. Wansing to the inside, Garrison ahead, and at the front, he's blowing up that phone like ring, 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 ring. That Kevin Durani's a champion. Check the numbers, he's a champion. Can't sleep on Norman anymore. The defending TNT winner trying to put Tristan Catania a lap down, headed into turn number 1. Only 19 laps into this race. Norman kicks the tail out, back to third. The fight goes on. Seth Wansing watching the North Carolinian Dustin Painter tear away in that 0-0 Napa Camry, but just for how long? And further on back, Donald Ray gets into the wall trying to salute the fans on iRacing's Iowa Speedway, and he's looking to go to the inside of Tommy Withers now, the 6, overtaking the 5 into turn number 1. Jeff No looking back in 11th, watching the crossover, and Donald Ray, 2 laps in a row, he makes contact with the outside wall. The National Guard Chevrolet scraped up, scratched up, looking for some consistency. The double nickel on the outside. Jeff No holds the spot over Donald Ray into turn number 3, and the National Guard Chevrolet now has one Ryan Pennell lurking in the shadows. The 1-2 in 12th. Honeybrink behind, and Elrich George just starting to creep in, and it looks like they're starting to concertina. Accordion, if you will. Thomas Andrews to the inside of car 4-4. Josh Garrison ahead of Toby Estes into turn number 3, and they're starting to get dicey. Single file, first 5, but beyond that, it starts to look like a mess. They get jumbled up. Garrison with his nose on the outside. He can't quite reach Andrews. Let's ride on board with the New Jersey driver. holding on for now, up 6 places since the green flag waved. Tommy Withers with Ryan Pennell to his outside. Donald Ray falling behind, now down 9 spots from where he started. Pennell with the brave move down to the inside. He makes it stick, but will he come out the other side clean? Jeff No up ahead. Pennell with a draft. Will they go 3 wide into 3? Not for now, but we'll see just how long these guys last. If you just tuned in, you missed nothing at all. 26 green flag laps from the Iowa Speedway. Tommy Withers ahead of Donald Ray, but trying to also get ahead of Ryan Pennell. Cody Riggs in the Dirt Cheap Customs number 3. Oh, look at Ryan Pennell making contact with Tommy Withers down to the grass. Withers back up on the racetrack. He saves it. Glove save from the Virginian. Tommy Withers doing his thing down the front stretch, and he's able to keep that race car in one solid piece. Have another look. Check that out. Oh, and they got a squirrely before that. See if we can have a look. This is the lap prior to all of this going down. Ryan Pennell kicks the tail out and just makes contact with the number 6 of Tommy Withers. John Honeybrink goes down to the inside. He's down to the 14th position at the middle of the front of this race. Toby Estes looks to go to the inside of Richie Catania. We'll see if he can make that one stick. Jeff No trying to also take advantage of the displaced Floridian. That Exalta Chevy rocking the high side. Jeff trying to get 2 bites of the cherry in turn 3. He's going to go up to the wall, kick the tail out. Richie gets back to the inside. Jeff No losing all the momentum in that double 5 TJ's machine. And they're almost going to make contact. You saw the daylight between them. No contact made. Jeff No gets back around Richie Catania. These two doing a little dance. Trying to figure out just where they want to be. Dustin Painter now ahead of Seth Wansing by less than half a second, 32 laps into this race. Richie and Donald now doing battle. The 2-4 sliding back. You can see the marks on the right side of that Exalta Chevy. Richie definitely hit something, and now he's sliding back. Donald Ray working the high side. That could help. It could hurt. We've already seen Ray make plenty of contact with that outside wall. Riley Wright trying to climb back up through the top 10 after he's lost 5 places from where he started. Riggs, Garrison, Honeybrink, Withers. They all got to play nice out of turn number 2 now. Riggs to the inside. He's got Josh Garrison behind him. 2x2. Well, it was 2x2. Tommy Withers hanging out back. Cody Riggs trying to get a good exit. Now entrance into turn 1, and he's making it look a lot easier than it really is. He gives the high side to Josh Garrison. The double 4 rocking the low lane with Tommy Withers behind him. You're looking at 13th, 14th, and 15th, respectively. Another Bluegrass Bandit trying to hold his own. Talking about Riley Wright in the 29. He goes to the inside of Richie. That 2-4 Exalta just can't hold on the top side, but Riley looks to have the momentum on the outside. Bama Tram is in the chat. Mama Vols, what's going on? Glad to have you here. Doug Norris in the chat as well. Cat Pennell in the chat. Anybody else that's here, say what's up. Let me know who you're rooting for, and if you have not yet, enter exclamation point TNT04 in the chat for your chance to win that Ernie Irvin diecast. Check it out on Rick James TV and Thursday Night Thunder Twitter. Shout out to everybody watching on iRock TV Media as well. Race leader Aiden Norman trying to make the view at the top not very lonely. Maybe he's just trying to make it harder for himself. You just saw him scrape the outside wall in that turtle wax machine. The 6'2 continues to plow on 4.5 seconds into this lead, while further on back, drivers are fighting for every inch they can. Doug won last week's giveaway. So Doug, unfortunately, my brother, you are uneligible to win this week. But I appreciate the effort anyway, Doug. Thursday Night Thunder love. We were talking about Doug Norris. We were talking about Doug Norris before this race started. All good things, Doug. I absolutely promise you. Doug actually friends with this man right here, Toby Estes. Oh, Doug says he forgot. Don't worry about it. No problem. But Toby Estes, Riley Wright in the 2.9, and then Cody Riggs in the 3. All from the town of Greensburg, Kentucky. All Bluegrass Bandits as well. How about that? Catania goes around. Richie Catania goes for a spin. And the 2-4 brings out caution number 1. Aiden Norman getting his tires and fuel taken care of. Let's go back and see what brought out that caution. Richie Catania on lap 39 going around. Contact from Briley Wright. We were just talking about Briley. John Honeybrink gets a piece of that one too. Check it out. Right on board with John Honeybrink. Just nothing you can do at that point. How about this? Thomas Andrews at the front of the race. Thursday night, season 4 winner. Thomas Andrews leading this one. He pitted on lap 40, but he spent significantly less time down pit road. He might have just gone fuel only. Brave move, and we'll see what he can do to shake it up just a bit. Thomas Andrews, Rick James up top. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Rick.
Leading this race for the first time, and I think these are your first laps led. Well, no, they're not your first laps led this season, but certainly under non-pit stop conditions. But that's a brave move. You're sitting at the front right now with the defending champion behind you. You got Dustin Painter, Seth Wansing, and a whole lot of other hungry fellas. So what's the plan moving forward? I mean, how are you going to make sure these guys don't come on back on you to the front?
Well, it was actually a terrible move. I thought more guys would just take fuel there, but I'm the only one, so it is what it is. But hopefully I'll have a set left here at the end if we do have a couple cautions. So that's what I'm banking on, but probably not going to happen the way that we run.
Yeah, we went 41 laps. We went 41 laps there, caution free. about 15 laps before the stop goes, but you have a reputation for really calculating the tires and the fuel well. Do you think it might come down to some fuel mileage here given the long green flag runs, or is it just going to do what short tracks do?
It's possible. It's possible it could come down to fuel mileage here, but I wouldn't bank on it. I think we'll have another caution or two before this is over, but we'll see how it works out.
We'll see how it works out for you and for the rest of the field as well, Tom. And then the fans at home are dying to know, what's your favorite hot dog topping?
You asked me this last year, and I got in trouble for it, but ketchup. I just like ketchup.
Ketchup it is. You got it, man. All right. Keep it going. Keep it up. Hopefully we talk to you at the end, man.
Thanks, Rick.
New Jersey's Thomas Andrews will take us to the green flag. Commando Griff Cheese. Commando Griff 3 loves a chili and cheese hot dog. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Green flag is out. Thomas Andrews and Aiden Norman on the front row. Holding his own. Aiden Norman top side. He's going to run away with this one while Dustin Painter tries to save it in that 0-0. Doing his best. It cannot be easy wheeling these race cars out there. Thomas Andrews falling back. We said it was a terrible move, and it looks like he might have been right. We'll see just how long he can hold on. Jeff No in the 5-5. Ryan Pinnell behind him, riding right, trying to not touch that wall. So is everybody else trying to give themselves enough room from that outside wall. Purple, Aiden Norman in that 6'2", 23.77 seconds. Tom Sears in the 16th position. Still finds himself 3 laps off the pace, but just trying to hold on. Cody Riggs top side. Thomas Andrews in the wall, and the tires could finally be taking their toll. The number 2 struggling to keep that car in one piece. And that's the distance to the race leader. Let's go on board with Aiden Norman. Seven tenths, the gap from first to second, a bit closer, further on back. One Ryan Pinnell to the inside, now outside looking to get around Jeff No. Tom Sears trying to play with the big boys at the front of the race. The 1-4 car just trying to get a little closer. Cody Riggs into the wall in that number 3, and that could cost him. Tom Sears to the inside, trying to avoid any trouble, any damage, and he's unsuccessful. He's got a big scrape on the right-hand side of that 14. Tommy Withers in the 6. Trying to get to the inside of Donald Ray in the 5, who gives it a big slide, but he uses that speed to get around Cody Riggs into 1. Riggs top side. And he probably should have spent a little more money on that dirt cheap custom. Cody Riggs right now running in 9th, losing a spot to Donald Ray, that number 3. one of those Bluegrass Bandits and the self-proclaimed best Bluegrass Bandit. We'll see how everybody else in Greensburg, Kentucky feels about that. Still in the top 10. Richie and Tommy side by side once again. Tommy Withers in that 6th, the U.S. Army Toyota, trying to hold off the Exalta Chevy. Further up, Jeff No making hay while the moon shines in Newton, Iowa. Ryan Pinnell, the local flavor, the driver from Des Moines, in that 1-2, trying to crack the top 5. Jeff No, the race's hardest charger, up 8 places since he started this race 55 laps ago. 125 remaining, and you saw a big blink there from Ryan Pinnell. He's upgraded his internet recently, and it looks like, oh man, looked like Jeff was going to get into the wall, but he saved it that time for sure. And they're still side by side through 3 and 4. Ryan getting loose, Jeff getting loose, both of them saving it out of the corner and doing a fantastic job so far. Richie Catania top side on that number 3. And the 24 and the 3 fight once again. This time, Cody Riggs in the 3. Trying to hold on. There goes the 24 of Richie diving to the inside. These two struggling hard for 9th. And Richie, who went around last time out of 2, keeps it in one piece. Tommy Withers dives to the inside, and he uses the line to get around Richie Catania. Tom Sears just watching all of this play on, hoping to get another chance to get his lap back. Aiden Norman, 0.3 of a second ahead of Dustin Painter. Possibly a different strategy, or Painter just driving it a little bit hard these laps now, with these tires now with 19 laps of wear. Toby Estes sitting in 3rd. And it's 1.5 seconds back to 4th, where you'll find Seth Wansing. Briley Wright to the inside of Donald Ray. He fixed up his car under that first caution, and he's sitting in 7th, making his way back up through this field over the last 5 laps. This is what the times have looked like. Donald Ray consistently quicker than Ryan Pinnell ahead of him that time around on lap 60. Pinnell and Ray almost identical, down to 1/1000th of a second. And Donald Ray looks like 0.4 of a second quicker than Riley Wright that last time around. He is climbing. Jeff No, however, is falling. Ryan Pinnell is right up behind him. Commando Griff in the chat earlier saying he's cheering for Jeff No as a fellow teacher. Aiden Norman cheering for himself, but how about the folks in North Carolina cheering both of these North Carolinians on? Dustin Painter to the inside, just can't make it stick. Aiden Norman running away with a temporary lead, but the 00 goes back to the inside, trying to learn this youngin' a thing or two. No one must have told Dustin Painter that this kid recently won the TNT championship, because that 00 is really trying to get up there and making the 6-2 work those tires. It brings Toby Estes within half a second to this fight for the lead. Donald Ray trying to work on Ryan Pinnell as Jeff No opens up a half second on the Des Moines, Iowa driver. Richie may have spun around earlier, but he's not giving up. He's within half a second to Briley Wright while the race for the lead rages on. Painter sends it. He gives it a full send into turn number 3. Tries to slide up the racetrack, but he shows restraint. Aiden Norman holds on, and he may have just been given a little bit of a gift. Doug Norris saying Briley Wright all the way here. There's Briley in the 2.9. Richie is creeping up. There you still see the damage on the 2.9. And there's Briley into the wall as Richie Catania gets around him. And one of those Bluegrass Bandits in tonight's race. One of those 3 Bluegrass Bandits in tonight's race making some contact, and Briley could be looking for a caution to fix what he just caused. Toby Estes, another one of those Kentucky pilots, cuts the difference, and he slips right in front of Dustin Painter, and he's going to ride out of turn number 4 with the silver medal spot. Toby Estes now looking to get closer to race leader Aiden Norman, who just wiggled hard out of turn number 2. He's going to lose time, but will he lose the momentum? Norman gets up way too high. He makes super hard contact with that outside wall. Toby Estes dives to the inside. This could be a big lead change and a pivotal moment. Norman holds on. Estes does not slide up, showing more restraint. Tom Sears working on getting around Richie Catania, but again, Sears 2 laps off the pace. Aiden Norman still ahead of Toby Estes. 3/10 is the gap. Dustin Painter just watching and waiting for something to happen. Ryan Pinnell in the 1-2, a quarter second behind Donald Ray. Toby Estes on the outside. He makes plenty of room for Painter to get to the inside. Estes holds on to that second place position. Aiden Norman scraping the wall and now gaining time. He's half a second ahead of second and third. Briley Wright falling back. Tommy Withers now getting to his inside. Let's go on board with Briley. And still holding on. Briley Wright in that 2.9, trying to make the folks over at Smokey's Bar proud. Shout out to everybody at Smokey's in Greensburg. Hope you're cheering him on as he fights hard with Tommy Withers. The number 6 holds on to the inside, and the Virginian tries to take another bite out of the top 10. John Honeybrink behind Tristan Catania. Lucky number 13 for the number 20. Wii Sports Camry. He's got Thomas Andrews behind him in 14th. Remember, Andrews last pitted on lap 40, but I don't think he took tires. So his tires now 37 laps old. Aiden Norman continues to lead. Briley Wright still holding on. And it looks like we finally got some peace among these drivers here for now. But Tommy Withers not giving up the fight. This is what that battle looks like from the quarter panel of Richie Catania. Richie doing his best to hold on. He's got Briley looming in the distance. How about Thomas Andrews working on Tristan Catania? Norman, half a second in that lead. Toby Estes now falling behind. Seth Wansing goes to the inside. We haven't seen this guy in the top 3 since the start of this race. Wansing to the inside, trying to find some more moonlight into turn number 1. He's going to let the issue go for now. Briley, on the other hand, still working hard. Tommy Withers just ahead in position number 9. Richie in the 2-4, older brother to Tristan, who's gained 4 positions as he scrapes the wall and showers up sparks behind the Season 4 champion. Toby could be in some sort of trouble. Both drivers to the inside of Elridge George. Seth Wansing looming in the distance. Seth in the 9 behind that 7-8, taking his time on this run. Drivers who did pit, their tires 44 laps old. And those track facts brought to you by Drip Diecast and Collectibles, saying these cars will be able to go between 55 and 65 laps on one green flag run. We're starting to approach that. If you want to see more diecasts like the one we have on giveaway tonight that you've seen on Rick James TV Twitter, check out Drip Diecast and Collectibles on Facebook. See if you can buy, sell, and collect some of your favorite pieces of NASCAR history. Drip Diecast and Collectibles, the only place to go for your NASCAR memorabilia. Seth Wansing on the inside of Toby Estes still. And the KC Masterpiece does not give up. Estes looks like he might have made contact with the wall, but still holding on. At the front, this man in the 62 is no longer by himself, but Dustin Painter itching to get just a little bit closer. The 00 Napa Camry, trying all sorts of different lines. We'll see what works. We'll see what doesn't. And if you've just tuned in, we're just past halfway. Are we? I have no idea. I can't do math. I don't know what 88 laps is, but I think that's halfway, right? Maybe. That's not the point. If you've just tuned in, you missed one caution. You missed one caution. Defending champion and last week's winner, as a matter of fact. Aiden Norman leading this race. Toby Estes and Seth Wansing have been sitting here, almost teasing each other for the last few laps, but it looks like Seth might finally have the courage to make that car stick. He doesn't slide up the racetrack. Toby Estes from Greensburg, Kentucky tries to defend the Kansas City Pilots attack. The number 9 dips down to the inside. He rises up just to say hi. How about Aiden Norman getting way out of control? What in the world just happened to car 62? He really lost control there. Have another look. Watch coming out of turn number 2. This is turn 4, and Norman already loose out of that corner. You can see just how bumpy the surface is there. Aiden really hanging the tail out. Not sure what he was attempting, but anyway. Back to live pictures. Half a second between them. Drivers, looks like they're just getting ready for their pit stop cycles. 50 laps of wear on these tires. And again, those track backs showing you 55 to 65 laps on one green flag run. We'll see just how far these guys make it. There is the table coming into tonight's race. Aiden Norman with a 2-point lead over Tom Sears. Jeff No sitting in 4th. Further on back, Briley Wright sitting in 10th. This year's trophy is being provided by Swag Designs. Shout out to Jim Blankenship and everybody over at Swag Designs. Not only providing the trophy for this year's top 3 in the Thursday Night Thunder points, but also being a good friend to the series. We appreciate you, Jim, and we hope you're watching along. Dustin Painter falling off of that lead. 7/10 the gap, and Wansing starting to creep in. Oh, check out Swag Designs on Twitter, by the way. My apologies. It's at swag_designs. And tell Jim you say hello from Rick James. 94 laps now completed. 85 laps remain. Seth Wansing in 3rd. Last week, he finished 2nd to Aiden Norman. Will it be the same? Seth Wansing trying to make that somewhat happen. I'm sure he doesn't want to finish 2nd again. Fans, if you haven't yet, enter !TNT04 for your chance to win an Ernie Irvin diecast. Check it out on Rick James TV and Thursday Night Thunder Twitter. That 1993 retro diecast, I might mention. !TNT04 Thursday Night Thunder drivers and last week's winners are ineligible to win. Commando Griff in there. Mama Vols also in there as well. And shout out to everybody watching who has not entered yet. What do you got to lose? Get in there. Jeff No in 5th. He's up 8 spots from where he started. Trying to get up behind Toby Estes, who started in 4th and he's running in 4th. Tristan Catania falls off the racetrack and slams the inside wall. Something's gone seriously wrong with the New Jersey driver. Have a look. Oh, he tried to save it, lost control, scraped it up. Tristan back under his own power, running in 16th. 1 lap off the pace, and how about this guy, Tom Sears, in 15th, but only because he's been 1 lap off the pace. Last time around, Tom Sears, 25-23. Aiden Norman, 25-28. Tom Sears running quicker lap times than the race leader. 76 laps remain in this 4th round. Aiden Norman looking strong but not unbeatable. Seth Wansing in the 9, coming to challenge the defending champion for the top spot. Norman is in. Not much of a challenge. The 6-2 comes down pit road. New leader, Seth Wansing, in car number 9. Mr. No. Up 10 places now. Up to 3rd. Toby Estes behind him. Thomas Andrews in 10th. Donald Ray in 11th. Wansing stays out. Aiden Norman still in the pits. Tommy Withers also coming down. Tom Sears is in. Possibly an early pit strategy for the two-time champion. Richie Catania decided he's going to join the brigade for fuel and tires. Seth Wansing just put Thomas Andrews a lap down under this pit stop cycle. And the 9 car leads by 1.6 seconds over Dustin Painter in the 00. Wansing still leads, growing that gap over Dustin Painter. Aiden Norman back on the racetrack. We'll see what the clock says. The 6'2", now amongst traffic. We'll see just how he copes. 24.05 seconds. He's a full 1.2 seconds quicker than Seth Wansing on his first out lap. Wansing, with 70 laps to go, now has to consider this move. Norman 3 wide out of the 4th corner, wiggling on cold tires behind Ryan Pennell and Donald Ray. 24.37 seconds. Still quicker than Wansing. Matter of fact, he actually is the quickest driver out on the field right now. That's pretty impressive considering those tires are still not all the way up to temp. Norman trying to go fast, trying to go hard, but he could slip up and make a mistake. You just saw him wiggle the tail out of turn number 4. He's overtaken Donald Ray for 8th. All of the top 7 still have not come down pit road. Jeff No, half a second from being overtaken by Dustin Painter. These drivers now going 67 laps on these tires. Seth Wansing is in. Here comes the race leader. The two-time A-squared champion has decided it's now his turn, and the new lead now goes to Jeff No in the 55. Seth Wansing is in. Dustin Painter is in. Des Moines' Ryan Pennell goes up to 3rd. But for how long? And if the caution comes out now, what will it do to the strategy? Wansing is down. Painter is down. Jeff No has decided that's enough. And now the lead goes to Greensburg, Kentucky. Toby Estes, waving the flag for the Bluegrass Bandits, has the top spot that last time around. 25.74 seconds for Toby Estes, and Briley Wright just behind him as well. Wright, he pitted on lap 97. Thomas Andrews now coming down. Toby Estes now putting 69 laps of wear on those Goodyear Eagles, or General Tires now. They're not Goodyears anymore since the update, but that's all right. Doesn't make a difference. Toby Estes leading, and he wiggles it hard out of turn number 2. It looks like he might be entering pit road, and that's exactly what the Bluegrass Bandit is going to do. Cody Riggs, he also hasn't pitted since lap 40. Will he inherit the lead? No, he will not, because Aiden Norman is right behind him, about to take that from him. So Cody Riggs is in second. Aiden Norman will go to the inside and make light work of Cody Riggs. Toby Estes will lead the lap, and Aiden Norman will resume the lead. Lap 110 is where, 110 completed. Lap 111 is where Aiden Norman jumps back on top. Donald Ray sitting in 3rd. Cody Riggs is in. Briley Wright will overtake. And with Toby Estes coming down, that completes that green flag pit stop cycle. It goes Norman, Ray, Riggs. Seth Wansing will overtake the number 3 as he's coming down for tires and fuel. The Midwest Barbecue Chevrolet comes through. Cody Riggs watches the positions tumble, and it looks like he picked up a scrape or two on the Dirt Cheap's Customs machine. Spooky pickery he's got going on. I love that. Dobson, North Carolina, cheering on. Aiden Norman, Donald Ray, 3.5 seconds adrift. Seth Wansing, 9 seconds back of the Texan. Richie Catania creeping up on Briley Wright. This is 8th and 9th. Going at it. Let's ride on board with the Central Floridian. Richie to the inside, trying to get the ground closer to Briley Wright, but he can't just make it stick out of turn number 2. Briley holds on to 8th. Toby Estes to the left-hand side of the Exalta Chevrolet. And the Budweiser Monte Carlo just tries to get a little bit further up the running order. He's up to 9th, down 5 places from where he started. Tommy Withers making way for Des Moines. Ryan Pinnell, the 1-2, moves into 6th. Albeit a bit slow out of turn number 2. He's going to move up and try and block the advance of that number 6. And how about that for a nostalgic paint scheme? Ryan Pinnell in that 1-2, now pulling away from Tommy Withers. 6/10 the gap now. Richie trying to catch back up to Briley, but it looks futile. The 2-4 tries to send it deep, but the 2-9 keeps on marching forward. Donald Ray sitting in that 2nd spot. He is on the lead lap, but that makes 2 drivers on this lead lap. 2. There's the other. Race leader, Aiden Norman. And I said 2. I was wrong. I apologize. There's more than 2 drivers on the lead lap. I was reading the timing and scoring wrong. There are 7 drivers on the lead lap. Maybe if I paid attention, I wouldn't make those mistakes. And somebody who needs to pay attention is Tommy Withers. You see the way he's scraping that wall into turn number 1? The Virginian in that U.S. Army Camry, not focused up, just trying to make way for the race leader. Withers will fight on. He's only in the 7th spot. He's got a good hold on 7th, and he's chasing down Ryan Pinnell in that 1-2. Just over 50 laps to go, and if you've just tuned in, you haven't missed much. How about the fight between Briley and Richie? It continues to rage on. Briley in that 2-9, Richie in the 2-4, Donald Ray in 2nd, watching it all unfold. Let's go on board with the 5. Donald Ray in 2nd, watching Richie get to his inside. But again, not for the spot. Richie again sending it in deep. He's trying to get around this driver here, the 2.9 of Briley Wright. 50 laps to go. One more green flag pit stop in these drivers, but again, they only get 3 tire changes. Aiden Norman just walking this race so far. The Drip Diecast and Collectibles race facts telling you they've got just about 20 laps left before they have to start thinking about fuel. Dustin Painter in the Napa machine, just on the edge of the top 5, although he's got 8.5 seconds back to Ryan Pinnell. Toby Estes in 8th. Now coming up behind Tommy Withers. Will the Virginian be able to hold on this time? Withers top side. Estes bottom. Side by side into 3 after Aiden Norman just puts them a lap down. Estes gets around Withers. And Norman marches on. John Honeybrink in 13th, watching the race leader creep up. Don't let the 13th position fool you. The Season 5 Talladega winner. A force to be reckoned with, although this week it's not quite a force of nature. What? Never mind. The Wii Sports Camry continues to fight on, and you got to appreciate that fighting spirit that you see in Thursday Night Thunder. Whether it's a guy that wins every week, whether it's a driver that wins hardly ever, the fight is always there because you just don't know what's going to happen in these races. You've got to play to win, and that's the whole point. It's why we love racing. You've got to play to win. It's just the thrill of competition. And how about this thrill for competition? Second place, Donald Ray, no longer safe. Seth Wansing coming up behind him. The Midwest Barbecue Chevrolet, the number 9 on the outside of the 5 through 3. And he gets around Donald Ray. He makes it look easy. And just like last week, Norman first, Wansing second, just over 40 laps remaining. And if it goes green from here, they cannot make it. They've got to pit at least one more time to go to the end. Jeff No in the double 5. TJ's team Ford coming up behind Donald Ray. 1.7 seconds the gap. Wansing now starting to pull away from Donald Ray, and over the last 5 laps, Seth Wansing consistently quicker than Aiden Norman. 8 seconds the gap. Can Wansing close it up before that final pit stop? He's been close before. These are the swag design points coming into this race. Aiden Norman leading by 2 markers. Seth Wansing all the way down in 14th. He's got a lot to make up in terms of the championship, but Wansing wants that victory. Jim Blankenship over at Swag Designs making the trophies for the top 3 this year in Thursday Night Thunder. A big thanks and a big piece to my man Jim Blankenship. Check them out on Twitter at swag_designs. Wansing still consistently faster than the race leader, Jeff No, now within 9/10 to Donald Ray, and something has gone on with that number 5. This is the gap over the last 5 laps. Jeff No starting to creep in. Three-quarters of a second. Jeff No, the hardest charger, up 9 places. Ryan Pinnell trying to get back up there into the top 5. It's 9 seconds between Pinnell and Dustin Painter. We're inside the final 40. Donald Ray getting ever closer to the front bumper of Jeff Noe, and the North Carolinian now within striking distance to the Texan ahead. Ray's in the wall, and he's going to make this real easy for Jeff Noe. Noe gets around Ray. This time he makes it stick on lap 138, and he starts to pull away. Dustin Painter now within 2 seconds to the pride of Rockwall, Texas. Ray just trying to hold on. He has not pitted since lap 93. It's been about 45 laps, so if Don's been pushing that car as hard as you expect, you know the tires are shot. He's even got a mark on the right-hand side of that machine. He's got to keep it clean. He's got one more pit stop to go through. Briley Wright within 0.6 of a second to Thomas Andrews in the 10th position. We'll see how long that lasts. And there's Ray, now almost 1 second behind Jeff Noe. Dustin Painter within 1.8 seconds to the Texan. We'll see just how far it gets him. Pit stops looming. We're inside the final 35 laps. They can make it from here, but they've got to get on and off pit road exceptionally well. Aiden Norman leading Seth Wansing by 6.5 seconds. Wansing has cut the time. Look at that. Over the last 5 laps, Seth Wansing within 6.5, well, a little more than 6.5 seconds now. You don't expect that Seth will catch Aiden before they get to the pits, but he's going to make him think about it, which is enough. John Honeybrink now coming down pit road for the final time, as is Tristan Catania. And on lap 138, the final green flag pit stop cycle has begun. Norman still leads. Last week, he beat the odds and short pit, undercutting Tom Sears for the victory at Gateway. Will he do the same? Seth Wansing now going to be within 6 seconds of the defending champion, while Thomas Andrews is within 1 second to Richie Catania. Big scrape on the right-hand side of Richie's machine. Not sure where he made contact with the wall. Dustin Painter now trying to get around him. Painter sits in that 5th spot. Again, he comes into the points. 5th. Behind Jeff Noe and behind Jeremy Brio, who's not here. Only 7 points, the gap between Dustin Painter and Jeremy Brio. These first races are absolutely crucial to develop your points gap, and Dustin Painter taking great advantage, as you see Tristan Catania now coming out of pit road. Richie's in the wall. Richie Catania, the older of the two Catanias, scraping the wall, but he's going to come on down into the pits anyway. And the race leader is indeed in. Aiden Norman comes in, and he will hand the lead over to Seth Wansing. And there is Kansas City's Seth Wansing, now leading another lap. This race, he's got a 2.3 second lead over Jeff Noe as Aiden Norman goes a lap down. And imagine those championship implications if a caution comes out now. Trying to put the 6 of Tommy Withers a lap down. And will do so. Dustin Painter, less than half a second away from Donald Ray, who will try and stay off the wall. And will it even be a contest for Painter? He looks to the inside on the number 5, and he's going to make it real easy for himself. Nobody else in the top 6 except Aiden Norman decides to come in for tires and fuel. Norman coming in on lap 145. We've got 25 to go next time by. Did Norman pit too early? Did he see this coming? And really only 25 laps are going to tell the difference now, but I'm very interested to see where this one's going. Norman in the 6-2, sitting in 8th, 1 lap off the pace, but of course Seth Wansing, who pitted on lap 107, he would need to go 65 laps without pitting to make it all the way to the end. 65 laps? No, that's not right. 68 laps to go all the way to the end. Tommy Withers is in pit road, however. The Virginian decides he's going to make his final stop tonight. Final green flag stop, at least. Donald Ray has come in. The Texan has had enough of his ailing race car, and he will make his final green flag stop as well. Looks like Briley Wright also deciding it's his turn. Richie Catania going green, 24.08 seconds. He pitted on lap 144 and puts in a personal best. Good for Richie. Wansing still in control. How about Tom Sears? Qualifying in the 2nd position, but some internet troubles at the beginning of this race, knocking him back to 3 laps off the pace. And now Tom Sears, I think he's 1 or 2 laps off the mark right now. Seth Wansing still leading. Jeff Noe slowly getting closer. That last time around, Wansing 25.28 seconds. Aiden Norman 24.47. So a little less than a second between them right now with 20 laps to go. The gap between them officially 25 seconds. If Wansing can stretch this fuel another 20 laps, the math says he will outlast Aiden Norman. And there goes Norman unlapping himself from Seth Wansing. 1-9 at the line. And it's 24 seconds between them. So at this point, Aiden Norman needs to gain more than a lap a second on Seth Wansing, and the clock shows it right there. That's just not happening. $18 left. 1.3 seconds between Wansing and Jeff Noe. Last season, the Richmond winner played this exact game to a T. Noe catching up to Wansing. This has been the gap over the last 5 laps. Wansing slowly starting to be reeled in by the teacher from North Carolina. 1 second, now the gap. Jeff Noe, he pitted on lap 108, 1 lap after Seth Wansing, and the scheduled distance 175 laps. So Jeff Noe looking to go 67 laps on this fuel and tires, and the Drip Diecast and Collectibles track facts telling you that's just past the expected limit. We'll see just how far he gets. 8/10 the gap. Seth Wansing watching that white Ford Mustang start to creep in. Lucky number 13, laps to go. Seth Wansing, 6/10 ahead of No. And as the old adage goes, it's one thing to pass and another to catch. None of the top 5 coming down pit road. Toby Estes making it to lap 110. He's only got 65 laps to go. Last time around, Toby crosses the line. He puts in a time of 25.71. Aiden Norman, 24.88. So Norman quicker than Estes, but not like you might think. 7/10, now 3/4 of a second between Seth Wansing and Jeff No, and it starts to get just a little bit closer, and you want to think, just how far will they go? There's the delta between No and Wansing over the last 5 laps. They've been getting closer. Is No going to have enough time to attempt a pass? It's 1-0 next time by, and then just 9 at the line. Six-tenths between them. No getting closer. 1 second is the gap. Well, I'm sorry, 6/10 of a second was the gap between them. Jeff No winning at Richmond, using the fuel strategy to his advantage, but he's not the only one this time around. The teacher from Yadkinville, North Carolina, within 6/10 to the 2-time A-Squared champion, looking to finally get that Thursday Night Thunder victory that has been escaping his grip. 8 more laps remain under the lights in Newton. Further on back, Aiden Norman finally catches up to another one of those Bluegrass Bandits, Toby Estes, but we'll see just how long he can stay there. Estes up along the wall just opens up the bottom line for Aiden Norman, and the man from Dobson, North Carolina, slides on through. Fewer than 1/2 of a second. Jeff No starting to creep in. 6 laps, the gap. Wansing, did he make contact? Is he out of fuel? No. Coming up behind him and starting to get ever closer. Wansing has no more gap. No air left between himself and Jeff No. 1/4 of a second remains, and it's 5 to go this time by. Jeff No has reached the bumper of Wansing. No looks to the inside. Is Wansing on conservation to guarantee a good finish? Jeff No rolls up the left side. He is level with Seth Wansing, and he just can't get there. Four laps remain. No Now, on the inside, he's finally got the advantage on Wansing, but he's got to make it stick. The Kansas City pilot has to use the speed on the outside. He's going to have the edge out of 2, but he won't clear him going into 3. Oh, there's Jeff No just getting cleared by Seth Wansing. 3 laps remain, and No all over the back of the Midwest Barbecue Chevrolet. There goes No once again. Jeff No trying to get up on Seth Wansing. He's finally level. Not anymore. No sends it in again. 2 laps remain. Under the lights. Round 4 is a barn burner. It will come down to the strategy and who plays it best. Aiden Norman back in 5th, praying for anything. No hits the yellow line, and he gives Wansing just enough breathing room. Is that it? You saw Jeff No hit the yellow line, and he's got to hiccup. He's got to think. The white flag is in the air for Seth Wansing. 1 more lap. Less than a mile remains. Under the lights in Newton, Iowa. No to the top side. Is he trying the crossover? He blinks. No. Now looking to the inside. Will he give it 1 full send into turn number 3? He will. He will get there, but will it be enough? He puts the bumper to Seth Wansing. Coming to the line. Off of 4. It's Seth Wansing who wins round 4 at Iowa. Fantastic finish to the end. He's finally done it. Seth Wansing, all the winless weight off his shoulders. The Midwest Barbecue 213 Simware Chevrolet gets it done. He wins in Thursday Night Thunder. He wins round 4 at the Iowa Speedway. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 on the podium in just a moment. Seth Wansing from Kansas City, Missouri gets the victory. He is your round 4 Iowa Speedway winner. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment with the top 3. On the podium now after a thrilling round 4 finish. Definitely one of the closest finishes of the season so far. Commando Griff in the chat saying, great attempt, No, clean, the way it should be. And you best believe that was a good, clean finish to the end. Let's start with our bronze medalist, North Carolina's Dustin Painter with a 3rd place finish. And how about that, Painter? Great race, a bronze medal tonight, and you keep on getting closer to that victory.
I beat myself again tonight. I feel like I'm doing that over and over again. Came off pit road, spun the tires, hit the inside wall. I was right behind Seth and lost all that momentum. So, got to quit beating myself. Maybe I'll have a chance at winning one of these things.
We go from one short track to another. We're going to hit the high banks of Bristol in 7 nights. What do you think?
I love short tracks, so I look forward to being there.
We look forward to seeing you there. Congratulations on 3rd. our second place finisher in that double five. Racing for teachers all over the globe. How about Mr. Jeff No with the silver medal finish? Jeff, you were right there at the end of it.
Yeah, Rick, kind of just ran my own pace there when I saw it was going to be close to fuel with the early caution. And, you know, lucky enough, I was able to save fuel on that first long run. And Seth had to pit a lap before I did. And, I was able to just push him as much as I could that last run. And then, just racing him clean, man. That's what it's all about because finishing second place and putting on a race like that, all of us get to celebrate in that instead of personal glory. So I'm proud to sticking true to myself, and congrats to Seth on the dub.
Congrats indeed to Seth on that dub, and let's have a word with our race winner, Seth Wansing. Finally, a winner in Thursday Night Thunder. Round 4 at Iowa goes to you.
Yeah, man, I can't think of a better way. Holy cow, I'm sweating. I should have gone. I had about 4 more laps of fuel before I pit, and I probably should have used all 4. Uh, First off, Dustin had a heck of a race car. Um, Wish he didn't have that little pit road mishap, or else I don't think I would have made it on fuel. He would have pushed me a little bit. Um, and shout out to Jeff No, ran great all night, and he could have moved me a few times. In the middle of the corner, I was hitting the kill switch, driving with one hand, trying to save as much gas as I could. There was a little bit there where I was short, and that's when I really had to back off, and I didn't. I was hoping Jeff wouldn't catch me, but he got there. But had a really fast long run car, um, and just man, get that weight lifted off the shoulders there. Finally, a TNT iRacing win. Haven't won since many moons ago on Xbox, but thanks to Midwest Barbecue and 213 Simware and all the guys at Arcs and TNT that makes this stuff possible, and you, buddy, for broadcasting.
Not only yourself, but Commando Griff also winning as well. Cat Panella driver in TNT. Doug Norris last week's winner, so that makes Commando Griff 3, the winner of that Ernie Irvin diecast. And once again, you, Seth Wansing, have won round number 4 in Thursday Night Thunder. Next week, we take it to Bristol Motor Speedway. Do you think you can get 2 in a row?
We're sure gonna try. I feel fast in these cars since the update, so I don't know. Guys like Aiden Norman, who had a fantastic car tonight, did have are gonna be fast. Juan was fast. Dustin, Toby, everybody in TNT is fast, man. So what an incredible group we got going. Some great racing. Um, but can't wait to get to Bristol next week. One of my favorite tracks. And just glad to get the win tonight, buddy. Hope it was a good show for everybody watching at home. Y'all enjoy, and let's go to Bristol, baby.
We'll see you in 7 days. Congratulations on that W. For everybody watching at home, thank you for tuning in. Big shout outs to everybody at iRock TV, Jim Blankenship over at Swag Designs. Check them out on Twitter, and Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Check them out, I should say, on Facebook. Next week, under the lights at the Bristol Motor Speedway, Seth Wansing will go for 2 wins in a row. The points table reading with Aiden Norman leading Jeff No by 5 digits. Dustin Painter sitting 3rd in the standings, headed to the last great Coliseum next Thursday night. And until that race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will